Today I'm going to show you how to convert your bridge tuplet into a nested tuplet that sounds exactly the same. This is a bridge tuplet. You have your bridge tuplet over here that connects these two big tuplets. And then with this nested tuplet, you have a bunch of tuplets inside this big one. All bridge tuplets are nested tuplets, but it's much easier to notate it like this. It's a lot more digestible than whatever this is. But the reason why you may have to convert it sometimes is because different websites and notation softwares take this a lot better than they do this. So your first step here is you're going to take these three groups. We're going to represent these as fractions of how long each group is. So this 3 here represents 3 septuplets being played. So we're going to multiply 3 by the reciprocal of this ratio. So it will be 2 over 7. And that's going to give us a total of 6, 7. I'm going to skip this one for now. We're going to go to this one. This 3 represents 3 sextuplets being played. So it'll be 3 times 2 over 6. And that's going to give us a total of 1. For this 7, we're going to split it up. Because you have 3 septuplets already being played, you have 4 left over. So you're going to multiply 4 by 2 over 7. And now we're going to add it to the remaining number of sextuplets, which, since we have 3 here, it's going to be 3. And we're going to multiply that by 2 over 6. And we're going to simplify that to 8 over 7 plus 1, which gives us 15 over 7. The next step is to make sure that all 3 of these sums share a common denominator, and lucky for us, they already do. We have a 7 here, we have a 7 here, and since this is a 1, we can just rewrite this as 7 over 7. So now we're going to take the numerators of these fractions and write them as a set of numbers. Then with this set of numbers, you're going to do 2 things. You're going to divide each number by the greatest common factor, which actually is just 1, since 7 is a prime number, so we can just skip this step entirely. Then we're going to add these up, and that's going to give us 28. So now we have everything we need to build our nested tuplet. We just need to arrange it in a certain way. So we were going to label this as A, B, and C, and then we're going to label this set of numbers as D, E, and F. When you're converting a bridge tuplet to a nested tuplet, you want to follow this rule inside of this bracket. It's going to be A over D plus B over E plus C over F. And since this is our sum, this is going to be the tuplet number. So 28 is our first number. Then we build the bracket and we just follow this formula. So it'll be 3 over 6 plus 11 against 15 plus 3 against 7. And then since these 2 tuplets are against 2 quarter notes each, it's going to be against 4. There you go, there's your nested tuplet. The second example is just a random one I made up now, so we're going to try to work with this. We have our 3 groups over here. We're going to take 3 over here. We have 3 non-uplets being played, so we're going to multiply that by 2 over 9, and that's going to give us 6 over 9. For our 4 here, we have 4 quintuplets being played. So it's going to be 4 times 3 over 5. And that's going to give us 12 over 5. Our 7 is obviously going to be split up. So because there are 3 non-uplets being played, we have 6 left over. So we're going to split this up into 6 and 1. Take the 6 and multiply it by 2 over 9. And then we're going to add that to 1 times 3 over 5, which is going to give us 12 over 9 plus 3 over 5. Now we're going to need a common denominator here, so we're going to multiply this fraction over here by 5, And we're going to add that to this multiplied by 9. So it'll be 27 over 45, which is going to give us 87 over 45. Next step, common denominator. This is too big, so we're going to try to simplify this. 87 is divisible by 3, so I'm going to put 29 over 15 here. And then we are going to have to multiply these. So this is 2/3, so that'll be 10 over 15. And then this will also need to be multiplied by 3. That will be 36 over 15. Great, now we have our set of numbers. So it's going to be 10, 29, and 36. Once you have your set of numbers, you're going to try to reduce it by the greatest common factor. But here we can't do that because 29 is a prime number. So all we're going to do is just add these up. And we're going to get 75. Then we're going to label these. And now following our formula, we can now build our nested tuplet. So it'll be a 75 tuplet with 3 against 10 plus 16 against 29 plus 4 against 36. This whole tuplet will be against 2 plus 3, which will be 5. And there you go. Going back to the first example, if you take your nested tuplet and you type it into meter in chamber code, line it up with your recording of your bridge tuplet, you'll hear that it sounds exactly the same.